You'll make this rather snappy, won't you? I have some very heavy thinking to do before 10 o'clock.
All right, good evening. Welcome into Greenie Sports Cards Live, the world's first multi-stream broadcast for the hobby industry. We are thrilled you've joined us on this Tuesday evening. As many of you continue to do every Tuesday night between 7 and 8 p.m., we go live across multiple social streams. You may be catching us on Facebook, on the X, on the Twitter, as it were, on YouTube, perhaps the Sports Cards Nonsense feed. You might be catching us on LinkedIn and other multiple points in between Facebook and Instagram. And we appreciate that. And the best part of that is you can interact with the show. That's what really drives this here every Tuesday night on Greenie Sports Cards Live. If you have a comment for any of our guests, if you have a thought, if you've got a piece of advice, particularly tonight, as we preview the National Sports Collectors Convention, we're going to get into some of the best practices on attending that event through our experiences and through our guest. We are very fortunate this evening to welcome a very special guest who has his footprint, handprint, literally all over this entire event, both from the interactive floor plan and from the VIP party and trade night. We're going to get to talk to Brad, the CEO of Ludden, and their involvement in the National Sports Collectors Convention, the 45th annual event that will take place in just about 2 weeks from now in Rosemont, Illinois, at the Donald E. Stevens Convention Center. And we can't wait. If you are a hobby enthusiast, if you are even in the orbit of the hobby, this is the event to attend. And it's just an amazing experience. We'll get into that. We're going to give you a little bit of a look back on our experience, a couple of reels from last year, so you get a taste of what to expect. We've got a couple of comments from people who attended that event. We're going to have hobby news with Joe Wismirski out of Phoenix Card Shop. Of course, Joe, one of the hobby insiders on our newest program in partnership with Sports Cards Nonsense, Cut the Nonsense, that can be seen every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. So we'll talk to Joe on what's come out, what's new, some of his views as he heads into the National as well. So it's going to be a great time. Lots of stuff to talk about tonight. Again, comment on any of the streams. We can interact with you on the show. And before I forget, we do have two shout outs in particular. There are some birthdays this evening. One is my sister, Jamie, who's celebrating a birthday. I want to give a shout out to her, but also Thomas Fisher of Gemini Sports Cards, a friend of the show and friend of the industry. Happy birthday to you both. And with that, let's get it rolling. We want to give you a look back. We're going to set the stage on the 44th National Sports Collectors Convention that took place at the IX Center in Cleveland, Ohio last year. Here's a bit of the celebrity action that you can take in. It's quite a sight. Very, very cool stuff. Most of those celebrities, courtesy of TriStar and the TriStar Pavilion, where you can get in on the action and meet some of the heroes and spend a couple minutes with them as you pass through that experience and some of the VIP experiences as well. We're going to shift gears here and give you another bit of an overview on the floor itself, some of the action you can see throughout the event on this reel, and then we'll be back on the other side. So that was a quick look back at the 44th National Sports Collectors Convention last year in Cleveland, Ohio at the International Exposition Center. Our thanks to Haley for cutting those up and to Drew on the floor, capturing a lot of that footage. And before we bring in the man himself, Greenie, Steve Greenberg, aka Greenie, want to give you a quick snippet as well on somebody who experienced their very first national last year, a hobby enthusiast, the dude from the Hobby, Ohio. And we asked him his thoughts on the floor as through wide eyes as he took in the national for the first time. And here's a quick snippet of what the dude thought last year early on in the National Sports Collectors Convention.
This, I believe, is your first full national. You're no stranger to the hobby, but this is the first experience that you've come to see this. What was your thought going in? And now that you've actually been here and taken it in a couple of days, what do you think of this whole thing?
It has blown me away on what I'm seeing, from the vintage to the modern era, to the breakers, to the big corporations, PSA and Tops and Panini, what everybody's doing is just incredible. And I can't get enough in. I've been here all day, and tomorrow I'm going to come back. And I finally figured out like the areas that I haven't hit, so at least I've been able to pay attention to that. I sold a bunch of cards, which was awesome, just what I wanted to do primarily, and pick up like one or two very unique cards. And
So there you have it. That's a look back on last year. We are now turning our attention forward to this year, the 45th Annual National Sports Collectors Convention. Before we do that and bring in Greenie, we do want to thank our presenting sponsor, Collectibles on SI. If you want to master the worlds of sports card collecting, Hobby 101 from Collectibles on SI is your go-to resource. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, Collectibles on SI helps you navigate the hobby with confidence. It's part of the Sports Illustrated family. Find it on SI. Our thanks to Sports Illustrated, Collecting on SI, and of course, Sports Cards Nonsense. And just your other reminder, if you are watching the show, add your comments, add your questions. We can interact with us, and we'll continue on the show. And we'll bring in the man himself, Steve Greenberg, aka Greenie. Greenie, once again, welcome to your show.
Hey, again, thanks for having me. Happy Tuesday. 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks till the National.
Hard to believe. Feels like we were just there. Greenie, you've exhibited the show multiple times. This will be my 14th National since 2000, having been involved directly in the production and the 5 cycles through Cleveland. We wanted to give people a little bit of a best practices and some advice tonight. I know you're excited for this event, but when you look at it, let's talk a little bit about what people can expect, how not to be overwhelmed, first of all, by the sheer size and magnitude of the show, and And we'll kind of parlay this conversation into a little bit later. Brad's going to join us from Ludex and really kind of give us the scope of the event and some of the really inside baseball stuff. But let's start with the attire itself. When you get up in the morning and you've got to get ready to go to the National, what are you wearing? How are you preparing for this event?
Yeah, comfortable, right? Um, Comfortable shoes. Every year it's when I get a new pair of shoes. This is not a paid sponsor, but Fleet Feet does a great job. They outfit you for exactly what you need, measure your soles and all sorts. And we settled on some Brooks tennis shoes for comfort and for walking and being on a concrete floor for 6 days, and not to mention the amount of walking. The, this show in Rosemont is 600,000 square feet, Jeremy. And that's from, point A to B. There's an upstairs. If you add all the square footage, we're over 600,000 square feet this year. That is a lot. That is a lot to see. That is a lot of walking. That is a lot of wear and tear on those feet. So comfortable shoes. And, obviously you want to wear something with good pockets. You have a lot of goods and wares that you're bringing. I always carry a backpack. I know people carry the fanny pack and wear a purse. Who cares? Doesn't matter. Keep your stuff, close to you. And, that's really it. To just try to be as comfortable as you can.
And from equipment standpoint, you want to be prepared to survive the day, right? Make sure you got chargers and cords, and you got to stay hydrated. That's probably one of the big things. Bring a water bottle. Um, what about the supplies, Greenie? You said bring a backpack. What types of things are you
Yeah.
bringing as a hobby enthusiast? If you're coming to the show, what can you bring that will help keep your experience safe, protected, and
Sure. Yeah,
surviving?
you can absolutely buy supplies on the floor, and we work with BCW. We know them very well, and Tim from Slab Strong. But if you want, before you leave the house, grab yourself a pack of sleeves, a pack of top loaders, maybe even a little 400 count box. Inevitably, you're going to be digging through boxes, and you're going to want to be able to keep these cards safe. So that's it. And then that's why you bring a bag, or if you bring a duffel bag. There's people that bring the rolling Zion cases or a rolling suitcase. That's fine too, but you want to bring something to protect the cards. Depending on where you're digging. I mean, there'll be people that have boxes of cards that are unsleeved, unkept. So you want to bring something to put those cards in.
So you're dressed comfortably, you got your comfortable shoes on, you got your backpack, you're loaded up with supplies, you're ready to roll. Um, what advice do you have for buying and selling? You're going to get in there, you're going to be excited, you're going to be looking for certain things. What can you tell people ahead of time to prepare for heading into that convention center?
If you're bringing cards to sell, right? Know what you have. Know what they're priced. These places have immense amount of Wi-Fi in there, but when you get, I don't know, 20, 30, 40,000 people in the room at one time, that's a very big room. I mean, the Wi-Fi could be spotty. So, know what you have, know what you're asking for cards. You may not know exactly what you're looking for, when you go up to somebody's table, if you want to do some sort of trading, but really have an idea of the price of the cards that you bring. If you're looking for specific cards, make sure you have that down. I mean, use your notepad on your phone, or definitely write down something on a piece of paper. Come get yourself a Greenie pen and write it down. Yeah, this is one on my note too that Thomas Fisher said. If you see it and you like it, and it is in a price range that you like, don't waste time. Just buy the card and don't haggle. 10% here, 10% there. If you think you're going to try to save 10% by walking, 300,000 square feet to the other room, you're going to come back and that card is likely going to be gone. So
That's right.
if you see it and you like it, just buy it, and you will be happy that you do.
So have a plan, have a budget. And speaking of comps, we have a really good recommendation on where you can go for those comps and we'll get into that with Ludex a little bit later here. Before that, we want to welcome in our resident hobby expert from Cut the Nonsense. We're going to go all the way out to the West Coast to Phoenix and bring in Joe Wismierski of Phoenix Card Shop, as we do every Tuesday night. And we will say good evening or even good afternoon to you, Joe.
Thank you, gentlemen. Happy to be back on. Sporting the blue. Obviously, we are the FIFA Club World Champions at Chelsea.
Congratulations.
Huge
Yeah.
And came out and put it to PSG 3-0 right on the pitch. It was gorgeous.
This man is still wearing a scarf in the desert. Good on you.
It's humid today, Jeremy. This is when we talk about having your second shower when you walk outside. Just that air is not allowing any moisture to escape. It is very, very wet in the desert here. So,
All right, Joe. Well, I'll leave you two hobby guys to figure out what's going on right before the National here.
fantastic. Hey, this week we have three pretty big ones. The first was a online exclusive release, which is a basketball product. It's called Photogenic. Photogenic is Panini's take at Stadium Club. I'm gonna say just off of the pictures, Greenie. So, Photogenic, it's really about the capturing the athlete in its environment, and they're great cards. They're beautiful, but this was an online only exclusive. They do have, you're going to see great courtside shots.
Who is it? Oh, Dalton Connect. I couldn't tell who that was. Got it.
That is correct. You'll see Steph sign in this, as well as Steve Kerr. You have a nice duel that's available to you. It did come out. This is the first time Photogenic for basketball has come out. It has come out in the past for football, but it's been an online exclusive only product. So if you did have the opportunity to go on to panini.com, you could purchase it then. But this product did come out today. So typically Panini releases on Wednesdays and Fridays, but with a product like this, it did release today. So you see SGA, there's, again, what it comes down to with a product like this and like a Stadium Club is it is all about the picture itself, hence the title Photogenic.
I'm very indifferent, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's something that you really need to get into the hands of the collector. So
Sure.
you have the opportunity, if you didn't purchase it yourself and your local card shop has the opportunity to have it up on their shelves, it may be something worth a gander to go at. It shouldn't be too expensive. It should be a middle of the road product for sure.
Yeah, fine.
So,
Fine.
like we talk about in the past, we ultimately know that Panini will be losing the NBA licensing starting in October. So they're going to start to get more product out, or really put a bow tie on 24-25 and see what they can for 25-26. So that's our basketball release this week. Next up, we have Credentials Hockey. Credentials Hockey is Upper Deck's kind of take on what Contenders looks like. So Contenders, it
Sure.
gives a ticket feel, and that's what Credentials has. Credentials is nice this year because we have a good chase. So we had Bedard the year before. This year we have Celebrini with the San Jose Sharks. And this also gives the feature and the look of like a ticket itself there. So you can see a debut ticket there.
I like it.
But
Does Upper Deck owns the Fleer name, right? Is that am I speaking out of turn?
I don't know that for sure, but they very well could.
I think so, because don't they do like metal?
They do. You're right. They do own the Fleer name. So they do. Yeah.
So the first thing that I thought of when you said Credentials was the old Credentials cards, like the EX Credentials.
Correct.
Is that am I going the right place? Do they do that?
Yes. So Upper Deck does have that. They did for hockey this past year. They brought it back. But this is going to be more made to Contenders essentially. So there's kind of the different features, the different cards, die cuts that you're going to see in this product. The one thing that in the past that they haven't done is there's not a guaranteed auto in every box. But there is a lot of parallels that you can chase in numbered cards in this. And also you have the opportunity for veteran signatures, like you saw on the first scroll there with Connor McDavid. So it's a nice product. It's a fun product. It is fairly inexpensive. But what we are looking for is Macklin Celebrini with the San Jose Sharks.
There you have it.
Yeah. And then the last real big product this week that I want to talk about is it's kind of a fun product. It's along the lines of an Allen and Ginter, but it's Goodwin Champions with Upper Deck.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, it's fun for everyone. You don't have to essentially be into any specific sport. You can get Olympic athletes. You can get pop culture icons. You also have the opportunity to get bugs, relics, those type of things.
So, as a Cleveland Cavs fan, this is the only place you can get a Darius Garland autograph. He's an Upper Deck guy. He has no licensed NBA autographs, but he has some Goodwin Champions.
Huh. I didn't know that Upper Deck still had exclusives like that, since we ultimately know that LeBron had left, and
I mean, maybe his contract's gonna be up soon. I don't know that, but I do know that Darius Garland doesn't have any NBA autos.
Wow. Well, there you have the opportunity for a Gaudy, Cameron Brink.
Oh,
So
well, that's interesting that they got her to sign too. She's a Panini.
definitely cool cards.
Yeah.
You got to see the outburst, like the Young Guns and the splash of color for different athletes. Like you saw the Asa Newell, who was a basketball player who came from Georgia and just got drafted this past month. So there's a lot of opportunity to get all over the spectrum there. Brie Larson, like I said, you have pop culture individuals, and then you have athletes, and they kind of come together in this product, which makes it really fun. The relics are another thing that you have the opportunity to receive, like you can see here. And it's a fun rip. There's a lot of packs in it when you buy a box. This can also be a product that, again, if you go into your local card shop, you may see that this is a product that is being sold by the pack. So the owners of those shops have the ability for you just to
I love these. The Animal Kingdoms. You ever see them when they have the full insects,
yes,
right? Or like
little
fossils,
Yep.
right? A piece of the moon.
Mhm.
I don't know if they did that, but they do neat things like that.
They do.
I love Goodwin Champions. Yeah.
It's a fantastic product, and again, this is coming out this week, so a great opportunity for you to get in there and enjoy something a little different. Change the summer up, right? We're now leaning into the second half of summer. Why not kick it off with Goodwin Champions? And it is going to be at your local card shops. And again, it should be fairly inexpensive for you to get into a product like this.
Yeah.
Looks like we're getting the photogenic. So photogenic, you're not going to see too much different. I'm not sure if they have Luka on the cover as a Laker. I'm not sure if you're going to see Laker Luka there, but it shouldn't be too different. Again, the rookie class wasn't as some would say it was underwhelming this past year. So there's a lot of potential. So it shouldn't have an insane price on this product. It might be a good thing if you're the type of person that wants to open it. You might have some good value there, and it's ultimately going to be a hold for the future for sure.
There was a V-Friends EQL that came out yesterday for, I believe it was stickers. I tried. I applied. I got told no.
Me too. I was turned off, but Greenie, we tried. Yeah. Tried our best, right?
I did try.
Again, what's nice is when you're trying to do things, and trying is important. Like I was trying to find this card, right? And I was trying to comp it and working at the card shop. I mean, we're constantly in our phones. We're looking at a few different things. And it was a Tyler Wilson Spectra card from 2013. Okay, Greenie? Now,
first off, what reason would you have to comp a Tyler Wilson card?
Exactly. What reason would I have, right? But right. I did.
Yeah.
And
that's 5 minutes of wasted time.
Yeah. But what made it really easy, and it cut my time in half, was the Ludden app where I was.
There you go. That's why we did it.
The Tyler Wilson card, and what was cool, it showed a price report. So it showed when the last time this card was sold. And
Please, when?
So the last time that this card was actually sold was 5/1/2024, and it sold for $2.80. So with that being said, that made this a card that was eligible for my $10 mystery pack to add in to the
Sure.
cards. So it cut my workload in half, made my bosses happy, and
Thanks to Ludden.
National, it also has that integrated map that I'm going to be able to walk through and be able to use my phone on that great Wi-Fi there to find it. So,
or you use the Greenie hotspot and you'll get it on your phone.
That's fair. But I know you got someone coming up here that's going to probably go a little bit more in depth.
Brian. Jeremy's muted. He's trying to talk, but nobody can hear him. Doesn't matter. He's still talking.
Yeah. Joe, you made your boss happy, and I'm sure you made Brian happy as well for plug of Ludden.
And listen, you'll be at the National. You'll be using the interactive map when we send you over to somebody's booth that's 400,000 square feet away. You'll pull it up on the map and you'll know how to get there.
Or maybe just trying to find the bathroom in 600,000 square feet, right? So, guys, I appreciate being on this week. You can always find us at PHX Sports Cards on Instagram. We are on the corner of 59th and Thunderbird in Glendale, Arizona. Appreciate you guys. Don't forget to check Cut the Nonsense tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern. And we'll chat with you guys online there.
There you
go. That's a fun show. That is a fun show.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Joe.
We will talk to you next week.
Thank you, guys.
All right, Greenie. I need a nap for the National. Yeah, I'm all over the board. We got.
Listen, before I do want to say one other thing about what to bring, because with that internet being spotty, you never know when electronic payments will or will not go through. Cash is always king.
Yeah,
it is. And we even see it at the little local shows. There'll be guys like, well, I can't buy anything. I didn't bring any cash. Bring cash. Bring cash to the show. Yeah. It's very helpful.
Cash is king. Great insight, Greenie. Have a plan. Be comfortable. Stay hydrated. And the reality is, you cannot do this show in 1 day or 2 days, and possibly you can't even do it in all 5 days. There's so much to see. I don't know if it's physically possible to get there, but we're going to have a full onslaught of coverage there. You'll be there. I'll be there a couple of days. We've got Danny Black. We've got Joe Wismirski. You got Alex Tressler. You've got Alex from Clever Cuban Cards. Gio. There's a lot of people covering ground here with content that we're going to have on the back end of this, and I'm really looking forward to it. So, looking forward to this next interview as well with Brian Ludden of Ludden, founder and CEO. We'll tell you a little bit about him, and Haley's got a quick video that Ludden has shown on their platforms to give you a sense of their perspective from last year. But Brian is a lifelong athlete, passionate card collector, and a former college baseball player as well. He formed Ludden in 2021 after his own frustrations during the pandemic when he tried to share his card collection with his son, but found the process outdated and frustrating. He pulled up his bootstraps, figured out a way, and got it done. And we're going to look forward to talking to Brian about his evolution with a platform now that has scanned over 200 million cards and boasts more than 2 million users. Pretty powerful stuff in less than 5 years in the industry in an evolution. So Haley, go ahead and run that video, and then we'll welcome in Brian. All right, Greenie, with that, we will welcome in our special guest for this evening, the founder and CEO of Ludden, Brian Ludden.
Hey, Brian.
Greenie, Jeremy, how you doing, guys? Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, this is awesome. Every year we use this map, and what a great way to just preview the national and give people a way to use it. Plus all the other things that you guys do at Luddix, which has been terrific.
Well, yeah, thank you for all the kind words. And leading up to this, I mean, I love the national. I've only been in this industry really for 4 years, but man, it's a great event, isn't it?
It is, yeah. So it's interesting being in it for 4 years. Jeremy and I have been, I've 30 plus years. I mean, this national, this is the 45th. I mean, I'm gonna be 50 on Sunday. I mean, it's been going on my entire life, and it's pretty amazing where it's gone, where it's been, and now where it's even going to. Right? I mean, what an evolution.
Brian, your story's pretty amazing too. Let's start there on the evolution and the idea. I believe there's a Derek Jeter connection to the foundations of this story. Take us through the seeds of the idea for this app, and then we'll get into what it does. It's the broad stroke of it is it's a comp app. You can get comps for cards very quickly, but you're going to be much more eloquent in explaining the evolution of the story and what your application does.
Yeah. You know, probably more. You remember it better than I do, but I'll give you a shot. So it was a Derek Jeter card, Upper Deck Derek Jeter card. My son got it for his birthday from his aunt, and we are quarantining in COVID. We have a place in the city and one in the suburbs, and so he and I were in the city for whatever 10 days, whatever that quarantine time was, and I just happened to have my cards here. And we took it out, and we started looking at these things, and there's if it's a gold, hollow in the back, it's worth something. It's silver, but then it looks like it's gold, and I'm like, man, the fun meter was crashing, and the frustration meter was skyrocketing. So I decided, I worked on the exchange. I was a derivatives trader for 25 years, and when you're around 400 guys for that amount of time, there's always an expert in something. So I went to my buddies who knew cards, and they're like, no, man, we just go to eBay and we just know our cards. And I said, man, there's got to be something out there. And they're like, I don't think there is. And that's when I said, I'm going to invent that. And I was naive, crazy, whatever you want to call it, but I took the leap, and it's been a great run. But running a tech company is not easy.
No, it's not, and especially with prices that change daily, right? I mean, that the infrastructure that probably behind this, I'll never understand. Yeah.
I hardly understand it.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's in essence, so where do they take Luddix? Where do you take all the values from?
I mean, it's the identification. I thought that was going to be the hard part, but really the pricing is really difficult, because as you get more efficient and you scrape more sites, you're taking good data with bad data in, and then we have to run an algorithm. We run kind of like a normal distribution curve and throw out the outliers. But in the end, man, you guys are on eBay enough. There's some crazy prices, and we do our best to sort through them just like everyone else. But we're susceptible to what's out there. But we're writing some algorithms now that I think are going to really help pricing. It's more predictive pricing, and it's consistent pricing. But the pricing's been such a really a difficult lift for sure, and the parallels.
That's got to be hard, especially when you're scanning a card that may look gold, but it's actually yellow or orange, right? That's got to be a little bit difficult for the camera to pick up.
Yeah, it is. And also, I would say the patents we have out there, they're really about taking a picture, right? So, if there's a glare on there, if there's a sticker, if there's background noise, how do we mute that out? So, that technology was great. My tech team was able to figure that out. But yeah, I mean, you guys know a green laser and a green, whatever. They look very similar.
Ryan, for somebody who might not be familiar with your platform or is just finding it for the first time, what is that broad stroke of what Ludex does, and how can it assist either a newbie or a veteran in the hobby industry?
Yeah, it's so really, and it's an app. So it's you hold it in your hand, you take a picture of the card, we tell you what it is, we tell you what we think it's worth. Mostly it's eBay comps. But yeah, so it's it all sports. We have Pokemon, Magic, V-Friends. So we pretty much have every card that we need, but it's an information tool. I mean, Ludex is there as not an authority in anything. I don't want to be an authority. I just want to be a place that I can share knowledge and help people either, like you said, Jeremy, enter the industry and help them with that learning curve, or if they're in it, just to organize their collection and just have more fun with it. I mean, for me, it can make someone an expert really quick. If I buy a new box of cards, I'm trying to get into it with my son, there's so much friction in this industry, and I just want to try to reduce as much friction as possible and grow this industry.
Can people look up wax prices? Is that offered yet?
No, it's close, man. It's so close.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's a database thing right now. I'm in negotiations with a couple of companies that once we get the database, we'll be able to not only have cards on your collection, but also list them on the marketplaces with wax.
Yeah, so that's an interesting concept, which is, I mean, that will be very helpful to people, especially, card dealers that set up at the shows.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. It's a must.
So with all that and the comps, how does the map, how does that fit into the equation? Is that something, I know it's for the national, but is that something that could happen at a lot of regional shows?
Yeah, we beta test this out. We had a small Ludex show, 100 tables or whatever, and we that was easy. So that's where we started it. And also we added another feature there it's just too hard for the national, but you could put your cards on there. So when you go visit the booth, you can look at the digital collection that guy has. So maybe the cards aren't all out in front of him. He has some in the back. So we got those dealers to do that as a proof of concept. And then I pitched it to the national. I said, we can do this for you guys. So there's quid pro quo kind of a relationship we have with them. Yeah, we went and built it. My tech team did a great job. It's faster this year. There's some really cool features. Like this year, is that live, Jeremy?
Yeah, take us through it.
Okay, so put in 1338 or just Greenie Sports Cards. So then hit that. And then there he pops up there, and hit the star. So that's starred. So if you go back, yeah, you could just go on any of those tables, hit one of those tables, and it should, if you click on the left-hand side there, under, my eyes aren't great. Yeah, hit star on that. Okay. So anyway, so when you go back and close that left-hand side, your stars will come up first. So
I see it on the left.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you go on the left-hand side, and then you can start, if you start there, you can add notes to the table. So let's say Greenie had a Jordan card that I really liked. I could add the notes. I could add the notes. You have
telling me I need to sign up, which I will do to be able to do that.
Yeah. So, Greenie, you're talking about 300,000 feet away.
Yeah.
It's like, but now I could walk the show and say, hey, he's at 80 on this Jordan card, and I go somewhere else. So that was our big feature this year that I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, that's like your notepad on the phone, but you've done half the work for us, right? I mean,
yeah, it's cool. It's cool. And then the event schedule's another thing that's cool this year is you can see the show event schedule, and you can star what you want, and you get a push notification to remind you, hey, you got at 1 o'clock, Beckett's giving away whatever. So there's a few more things on here from last year. But it comes down to internet, like it's hard
Sure.
being a tech company at these big conventions. You just never know.
Now, this map, it's on the Nationals website. Is it also on the Ludex app?
Yeah, it's on the Ludix app, and
Okay.
when you get to the show, there'll be QR codes. So you're just going to hit the QR code. It's going to bring you to Ludex. You just register for Ludex, and now you get the interactivity quality to it.
And so you guys have two. So you have a booth in the corporate section, but you also have the VIP lounge. So what's the two differences there?
So we are so it's upstairs this year. So it's on the same grounds, the VIP lounge, and it's really in the day it's the VIP lounge. So anyone with the VIP ticket could come in there and get better food. There's tables. There's a stage. We're partnering with TikTok Shop on, so there will be giveaways. And it's just a place to just get off your feet.
Sure.
So that's what the VIP lounge is during the day, and then at night, Ludex will have a back room and have some VIP parties back there. Invite friends. You guys come by, say hi. So it's a nice place for us to greet people, meet with people. And the corporate booth, we'll have that going this year. We have a really cool piece of technology that I'll show you guys at the show that we'll unveil. That's I'm pretty proud of, and people are starting to use it now. It's really a mass listing tool to eBay. So we'll have that on the at our booth showing the demos of that. But yeah, the VIP experience is great. I mean, it's just a cool thing that the National does this year. They're really I think they're doing a great job, like keeping people on site and enjoying the whole totality of the show.
Yeah, it's a massive undertaking. I mean, this whole thing. I mean, there's 100,000 people that'll be there. Alex Tressler will be one of them running around. Yeah, I mean, it is like nothing else. It is the Disneyland of card shows. I mean, right? I mean, it's perfect.
Did you guys go to Fanatics Fest?
I did not. I will. That is on the list next year.
Yeah,
not to be a vendor per se, but I think I just want to witness it.
Yeah, that's what I did. We don't set up at many shows just because it's just not. It's expensive to travel, and it's like whatever. But I went by myself, and people are saying, "Oh, it's the new National." It's not. It's such a different event.
No.
Like nothing's like the National. Like it just isn't. And Fanatics Fest, I think they did a really good job this year with it, growing the industry. But they're not even in the same planets. There's just
They're not, and there's room for both. There's room to celebrate both. There's a little bit of a distance between them. Brian, you and I share something in common. We're probably one of the very few people in this world that have even touched the floor plan on a show this size. I had the IX Center plan drawn up through 5 of those cycles here in Cleveland. It's a remarkable undertaking, and that's one component of these shows. And my mind goes to the amount of infrastructure and people in the village, from the box office to security to food and beverage to crowd control to just the management and all the stakeholders that come in here, from the autograph people and the coordination and moving people in and out. It really is a remarkable endeavor. What have you seen from the evolution? You're 4 years, almost 5 years into the production of this app now. What changes have you seen since you set foot into this world to where we are now?
I mean, I think I've seen it become more corporate. Like, in the first National I walked, I was so naive that got to the Stevens Center. I'm like, oh, there must be like mirrored walls there, because it's just, and I was like, holy crap, that's not. And I just kept going and going. But it was a little more organic, and like, I think it was, it didn't evolve as much. But in the last 2 or 3 years, I mean, the big companies coming in here, the Walmarts and the TikToks and Fanatics, and like, it's just getting so corporate, which I think is good, as long as we don't lose that, the core, like you guys being there all these years. It's still about the collector, and I think the National does a good job at that. but I think corporations are probably the biggest thing I've seen. Or how about you guys?
Yeah, no, I do agree with that. It's interesting with the corporations, and I see that Walmart has a space on the floor. TikTok, we know about Whatnot. When do the sales on those channels start being measured in this comps? I know eBay is the standard. We have all used that, but everybody's coming around to these shows and buying cards based on an eBay price to go sell on Whatnot or on TikTok or on whatever it is now. And then it sells for 4 times that price on there. So where do we go with that?
What I'm working on is kind of like the central hub where if you put a card in, we scan a card, we tell you like if all the prices that it's listed at. And so if I'm looking to buy it, we'll tell you, hey, it's cheapest on Fanatics, Collect. And
I love that.
That's just APIs. We just build those APIs out, and then we'll have the ability to go grab prices from different areas, and then let people make decisions over where they want to buy and sell their cards. But eBay dominates. We all know that. But I think there's a way to do this well with having more of the data from these other big players and just giving that information, which holds true to Ludex, just giving the people more knowledge so they can make better decisions.
Brian, you asked, the biggest changes we've seen. Two things immediately come to mind. One is pre-pandemic. This was a bit of this is an unfair word to use, but it was a bit of a static show, right? You had a lot of booths, you had a lot of activity. It was a place for commerce. There was still a lot of money changing hands, but coming out of the pandemic, there's a different energy, there's a different enthusiasm. The breaking pavilion, the breakers have brought a whole different component of it. It's a lot more high energy. There's a lot more entertainment value. And I think Fanatics Fest really kind of took that and amplified this whole experience. The second piece is just the sheer volume of money and commerce that is flowing through, and people are really making a living at this thing. Speaking of making a living, what advice would you give to an up-and-coming entrepreneur or somebody who is looking to turn their passion into a business just like you did? What have you learned in this time with Ludex?
That's a great question. Honestly, I think it's watching your ego and your pride and knowing if you make a mistake, which we all will, to adapt quick. And so being a trader, the good thing about trading is I made probably 1 million bad trades. So if something doesn't feel good and you make a bad trade, or a bad decision, don't dwell over it. Just change it and move on. I think the other thing too, as an entrepreneur, you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. And because there's fear and there's, anxiety, and it really takes a lot out of you. So get used to fear as your shadow and companion. And it's motivating, but it needs to be managed. So, but I think there's no better thing to do than follow your passion, and success or failure, it doesn't matter. You did something, you believed in yourself. You get up in the morning and you have a purpose. So my sons, I'm always, anything they can do on the business end to start businesses, go for it, and fail fast and fail hard and learn. Just learn.
Yeah, we have a friend that does things kind of like on a whim, and sometimes he's like, you know what, you just got to do it, and whether you fail or you succeed, if you talk about doing something for years and years, you're never going to do it. If you have an idea, just try it, right? And see where the chips fall, what happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
For that. So we've got the 45th National Sports Collectors Convention coming up, Donald E. Stevens Center, July 30th through August 3rd. Brian, what are you looking forward to most, and what kind of insight can you give our audiences about what Ludex is doing and what they can expect?
Yeah, so I think if you have the VIP passes, I think they're sold out, but come down, say hi, say hi to us. Visit us at the booth. We have Brian Urlacher is going to be signing free autographs on Thursday down there. I don't have the time exactly yet, but he'll be signing some cards for people. So come down and enjoy that. And I think it's everyone has a different agenda at the show, and there's so many things I look forward to. But more than anything, I love the social aspect of it and meeting, running into you guys and talking about the national, have a beer together, whatever it is. I love the spontaneity of meeting people at the shows. To me, it's my favorite thing.
It's been interesting the last, I guess we'll call it, since the post-COVID nationals, the amount of like these autographed celebrities that Jeremy was putting up, or maybe Haley was putting that up, that actually walked the floor. When we were doing these shows in the mid 90s, late 90s, all through the 2000s, and Jeremy can tell you from running the IX Center, it's not often that you would see one of these autograph guys just walking around the show. And now, not only walking around, they're actually buying cards, and not not making a dig at Fanatics, but when you put Wemby at a table with 20,000 out, like they're actually coming, and like there's guys that'll walk around and they're spending $50, $100, buying boxes to open. So it's really interesting and neat to kind of see that.
Yeah, it's really cool too, because if you think about like commonalities, right? Like, what do you have in common with Mike Trout? Like nothing.
Right.
But he collects cards, so does Giannis, and like now you're taking this big industry, and that's why the thing I'm going to work on in 2020, end of 25 and 26, I want to make Ludden is going to be a social network, and it's going to be, hey, I want to see Greenie's collection. Like I go to Greenie at Ludden and I see everything you have. If I want to make an offer to buy something, I can reach out to you. If it's just one of those things where it's great to have the commonality of just breaking it down to we're all trying to do the same thing. And I also love the individual collections. Like this dude came in the VIP lounge and he's like, I collect 101s. I'm like, wow, that's got to be insanely expensive. He goes, no, I want a 1 in every 86 flare. So he just wants a PSA 1.
Oh, God.
So he's like, he gets pissed when he gets a 2 or a 3. And that was like a funny story last year, but I love that stuff.
Greenie, you mentioned, celebrities walking around is a bit different. It's not just the buying of cards. We had a really unique opportunity to hang around with Dave Stewart last year and follow him around on the floor and capture the content of that while he went out to the Heritage auctions, and stood in front of the Babe Ruth jersey, and he was transformed into a kid again. And so to see this, 2-time World Series MVP, borderline Hall of Famer, a kid who just grew up loving the sport, an all-time great pitcher, standing in front of this piece of memorabilia and just awestruck by it. There's really magic that takes place at these shows.
It is. And even the guys that are starting to collect, and, we know that Josh Young collects cards, right? And he collects his own cards and his brother's cards. It is. It's really interesting. It's fun. That people can make trades with these guys from, hitting their 101 debut patch, and you get an experience like no other. Right? How cool is kind of some things like that?
Yeah, it's awesome to see that. Like, Dave Stewart's. Yeah, it's amazing to see that, because we're all fans, right? Like, people are all collectors are sports fans, but not every sports fan's a collector. But so you get this fandom, and it's just really cool to see. Everyone kind of just so nostalgic, this industry.
So it's the Ludden app. Is there a website? Is that the best place that people can find anything Ludden related?
The app stores. So Ludden, we have Ludden.com. Follow us on the Ludden app on Instagram, TikTok, blah, 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 all of them. And then it's the app stores and Google Play Store. So just search for Ludden, and you'll have it on. And And it's kind of like what you're saying, Greenie, too. Is like get it before the show. Like
Yeah.
if you get that before the show, I could V-line to exactly what I want to do on day one with those favorites. And then, if the internet's not great, you still have that going for you. So I think that was really great advice that you gave on that, Greenie, all the tips for the show.
Yeah,
You got a
it's
50-50 shot of the internet working, and you got a 50-50 shot of it being really hot in there too, depending on the air conditioning.
yeah.
True.
So very cool. We look forward to seeing you in a couple weeks, and we will stop by. We no question in that VIP lounge. I will come there and relax for a little bit.
Well, that'd be great to have you guys there. And Jeremy, I'll catch you on the front side of the show.
Yes, sir. Brian, thank you so much. Appreciate your time. Appreciate all you do for the hobby, and thank you for joining us this evening.
Thank you.
Cool.
It's an honor.
Yep.
And I love Collectibles SI guys. They're my guys. So we're doing stuff with them, and they're just awesome to work with. So it's great to see that these brands are coming, great brands and great people are coming together.
Absolutely. Thanks, Brian. Catch you in 2 weeks.
All right. See you guys. Thanks again.
Yep. Yeah, that's going to be cool, Jeremy. Being able to find anything you want, that star that's really neat. So you can actually highlight your booth, put it in your app, make notes of what you saw. Although we just told you to buy it if you saw it earlier, but if there's other things like you're like, I wanted to go back and dig through that guy's dollar boxes, or I wanted to dig through that guy's box, so there's little notes that you can keep, and I mean, cool, very cool stuff.
So yeah, this is quite an endeavor. Kudos to Brian and his team for seeing a need, filling a need. Love the advice too. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable if you're starting a business, and lots of really cool stuff this evening.
Look at how big that
Our thanks
floor
to Joe
is.
is. What's that, Greenie?
I'm saying this. I mean, I'm holding my hand up here. That looks small, but that's 600,000 square feet. The whole thing. If you go back, PSA is probably half of it, but I'm not. And then,
And a
not to
double decker
mention
at that.
this. Yeah, this is just the bottom floor. There's an upstairs that has, I don't know how many tables, but 75, maybe 75 tables. That might sound right. But yeah, what a man. I don't even know the right word, but it's a huge show.
Yeah,
and it's no other way to put it. I mean,
if you can get there, check it out. National Sports Collectors Convention kicking off on July 30th through August 3rd, Rosemont, Illinois, at the Donald E. Stevens Convention Center. Greenie, our thanks to Joe Wismirski, our hobby insider. He will be on Cut the Nonsense tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Our thanks to Haley on the board. Our thanks to Brian Ludden for joining us from Ludex. And our thanks to you, Greenie, for letting us do this every Tuesday. Make sure you check out the socials, follow us, like, and comment. And Greenie, may the cards forever be in your favor.
booth 1338 on the Ludex app at the National. Look for us there. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Have a good night, everybody.